How do we create a movement that will get Greens elected and force the bold policy change that British Columbians deserve? I've spent the last decade working as a movement builder at the national and provincial level, leading winning campaigns and building diverse coalitions that brought together hundreds of different groups across Canada. I know what it takes to gain real leverage, change a political landscape, and win better policy. It takes careful negotiations, backed up by outside pressure. The BC Greens need a leader who can do both, who can electrify new movements to force the NDP on the back foot in our negotiations. That's the year-round organizing and momentum we need to win more seats. For the last 3 years, I've worked as a strategist and coalition builder at Canada's top coalition organization, Climate Action Network Canada, which represents over 180 of Canada's largest environmental groups, labor, Indigenous nations, grassroots, and faith groups. Building a movement and political force doesn't just happen. It takes work and experience. Experience bringing together loosely connected groups and creating a force that acts together to achieve collective goals. At CanRac, I was able to bring together the collective action of over 1.5 million Canadians, leading the networks and strategies to fight oil and gas corporations and achieve better policy both federally and provincially. In BC, I built a hard-hitting network against natural gas pipelines that will devastate Indigenous lands, bringing together both ENGO groups and frontline land defenders. In Alberta, I was able to bring together unconnected rural landowners, First Nations, lawyers, and big environmental groups to find common ground and make a collective force to combat an oil and gas carbon capture pipeline designed to scam more subsidy money from taxpayers. As an elected director, I've represented over 19,000 students at the University of Victoria, where I forced the divestment of $250 million from oil and gas investments. I've worked nationally and internationally, creating collective action from Ottawa to northern BC to Norway to Dubai. I know how to bring together farmers and foresters, activists and antis to create the change we need. It's these local and provincial networks that we'll need to re-energize the Green Party, step beyond our traditional audiences, and increase our voter base. There are so many voters that have walked away from the Greens and the NDP, not because they don't care, but because they don't believe anything will change. I've already brought in thousands of new members to our party, committed, energized members who are ready to organize year-round. We have 6 active riding associations across the province. Under my leadership, those new members will help extend and energize those riding associations. So we're ready to hit the ground running when the next election comes. My leadership is expanding the pie of voters, not fighting over a shrinking slice. Around the world, Greens have won by appealing to youth and underrepresented voters. That's how we can win. We need to build a truly intergenerational party with both the experience and the energy to affect change. Together, we can bring back hope and real change to disaffected voters, build the coalitions that will make it happen, and usher in a new era for the BC Green Party.